So there are in this table there are 8 cases presented that are the so-called productive cases in Livonian, and we have put this together with my colleague, and I hope that we have managed to put also the examples here, and I am going to go through not all of them. I will leave some for Minna Norvik. But as you can see from the current slide, so this case ending part, it already looks difficult, especially this partitive case here, partitive singular, that has 10 possible endings. And I'm more than happy to leave that part to my colleague because when we are working with this Livonian textbook, and this partitive, especially singular partitive part was the part that caused the biggest headache for us. And we want to, and I think the thing is that we wanted to try to explain the cases, the case endings as simply as possible, but it just wasn't possible. So let's see what is possible and what is not. Yes, in this part there are also some example words, and we have highlighted or changed into a darker color the ones that are in a strong grade. But next slide, I already found one mistake, so I will correct that. So in Livonian, as you can see, this nominative and genitive part is empty, because they singular, nominative, and genitive, as well as plural, they are homonymic, so they are similar. But there are some exceptions, as you can see already here, and I'm going to tell about them later. So in dative, I'm just going to go through them, but I will just point out some things here. So dative, you can recognize by this N, this letter N. And yes, singular partitive has the most possible, there are many possibilities to form the partitive singular. And the choice of the ending depends on the word stem and how it changes. But you can get some hint from the singular genitive. So it's not a strict rule. There are exceptions, but you can have some help in producing other cases with the singular genitive form. So maybe that will help you. Okay, and here are the plural, the table about plural and case endings, and they are together with the plural marker here. Sometimes it is difficult to tell which is a case ending and which is a plural marker. Like where does this line go? So that's why we just we put it together like case ending with the plural marker. So And also here, this nominative and genitive, so here it is a plural marker, are similar in nominative and genitive. And yes, also the darker parts are highlighted. These are the words in a strong grade. I noticed that there's this one example, naige, that should be also in a strong grade, actually. So yes, it depends on a stem. It depends, and how does it this what are the changes that that take place there? But okay, it's gonna be maybe quite a specific topic, but I'll do my best to explain it to you. So genitive, so it's a case of total object and possessive complement. So it's similar to that of Estonian. For example, in the brackets, he sold his horse, Damij and ibis yara. So the words involved are in singular genitive, or the child's feet are tired, laps jalgad väsend. So also you use genitive in these cases. And as I said, the nominative and genitive singular forms are mostly homonymic. So like this example of the word friend, sõbra and sõbra. So this is like the general rule for the genitive singular. But there are some exceptions, and I'm going to show you five exceptions. So, for example, the disyllabic and polysyllabic words that end with an I, and also there are two monosyllabic words like tuai and nai. They have ze in genitive. So it's ejmi, ejmis, juokshi, juokshis, nai, nais. So the z is in the end. And at the same time, the word stem can change. So for example, here's the word blue, color blue. It's sinni, but zinis. And the z, this z is also added to the person names that end in a vowel, and that do not have any particular meaning. So, and also you use this z. Then there are words that end in z in nominative case. Then in genitive, this z disappears. So for example, in the word rovs, the z disappears and it's rov. Mies, mie. Taurus, taura. And there can be changes in the word stem again, like in rikas, but rikka in genitive. And the ordinal numbers starting from number 3, so not number 1 and number 2, but starting from the 3, belong to this group. So it's, for example, the number 3rd, ordinal number 3rd, it's kolmas, but in genitive it's endi, kolmand. So here this z changes to nd. And the third exception concerns some monosyllabic words that end in a palatalized consonant. So I point out that it's only several, it's not all, but only some monosyllabic words. And in genitive case, this palatalization disappears. So, for example, the word fire, it's tull, but in genitive, it's tull. The word saying, but in genitive, sien. So sometimes also the vowel can, the monophthong can become a diphthong. And this also concerns the cases where palatalized consonants are in a consonant cluster. For example, this word meadow or lea, nuirm, but in genitive it's nurm. But as I said, not all such words belong here. For example, there's this word pine, meaning bucket or a pail, and there this palatalization is preserved in genitive. And there are two more exceptions. So the words that have sha in a word final consonant cluster, these words have different genitive case. For example, the word child, it's in Livonian, it's lapš, but in genitive, it's laps. So this is especially a tricky part or tricky case for Estonians, where in Estonian the word laps, so not lapš but laps, is in a nominative case, nominative singular. And there's another example of the number one, it's ikš, but in genitive it's id. So the vowel is lengthened, and there's this d in the end of the word. And also there are some monosyllabic words ending in je that can have d in genitive, like the words water, hand, like vej and vied, and age and cad. So yes, these are the exceptions. And there is one example or a few examples when you definitely need to use genitive. It's this preposition il. So it's about or over that definitely needs genitive. So for example, I will think about it. So ma mõtleb il siia. Or mis ta il siia kiitab. What does he or she say about that? So this siia is in genitive. And there's another example, like he or she laughs at his or her friend. So ta naerab il ents sõbra. It's in genitive. So nominative and genitive plural forms are also generally homonymic. And as I said, in sometimes this genitive singular helps to find a correct ending, or to form it correctly. The nominative plural and genitive plural differ in the pronouns, for example. So it's they and their, ne, but nant. So here, meg and mad, we but our, teg and that, you but your. And the plural markers, there are 3 plural markers. It's t, d, and ud. So it's a vowel u also in front of the d. And when are they used? This t, this strong t, is used after z and key s. So it's nai, woman. It's nice in singular genitive, and you put this T in the end. So it's nice women. Vastust, answers, liveliest, Livonians. Then this softy is used after a vowel generally. So it's puud, trees, kivid, it's like stones. Yes, you put additional vowel before the plural marker. So it's like in Estonian. And also the D follows the L, R, and J in the words with a plain tone. For example, in the word suur, big, suurd, and also when there is a long vowel in the unstressed syllable and ending with a J, then you add this soft D. So it's salide, thieves. Then in words with stö, also you use this soft D. So it's ride, chairs, and node, advices. You add a vowel before the soft D in case when the root is ending in a consonant, and also some other cases. So, for example, this evening is ödug, but evening's ödugud. Lol, but lolat. So also there can be a slight change in the stem. And occasionally there are like two possibilities. So you can use either D or strong T. For example, this lolaji, it can be lolajit or lolajist. So it's like singers. So about dative. So when Estonian uses these exterior cases to express a recipient or processor or experiencer, then Livonian uses the dative case. And this is something that is always also used in, for example, in Mordvin and in Baltic languages. So, and the marker here is this N or UN. So when I say that I had a horse, so minnen veel ibi, or Joon promised Peter one sheep, Joon tõid this Peterin idlamb. So generally this dative case is used then. And it also marks the experiencer. So when I say that tammanum kiilma, he or she is cold. But also sometimes this elative occurs. So it's instead of dative in this case. So tavotšup minste ab, but not tavotšup minnen ab. So sometimes also elative occurs. So he or she is looking for help from me. Then there's this instrumental that has the function of this translative and commutative case. So something turns into something, or something is going to happen with something or somebody. So in Livonian, when in other Finnic languages, these translative and commutative cases are present or separated, and in Livonian there is instrumental case for that. And it's also similar to that of Baltic languages. So for example, with a tongue, it's kielkõks. But in Some occasions, these translative and commutative functions, they can be separated, but it's quite rarely. So for example, with this, there's an example of this pinkaks and pinnaks. See kučki kasvab suur pinnaks. So this puppy will turn into a big dog. But ma läheb pinkaks kenšlam, I'm going for a walk with a dog. So sometimes these functions are separated. But in general, we talk about this instrumental, and which is a productive case in Livonian. But what are the unproductive cases? So this allative, adessive, and ablative, for example, which are used with certain place names and especially with the names of Livonian villages. So, for example, the village is Ire, Siikrõg, and Koštrõg, and you use allative, adessive, or ablative with these village names. So it's I am in Ire, or I go to Ire, ma läheb Irel. So I use this allative or adessive. I come from Siikrõg, ma tuleb Siikrõgõld. So here I use this ablative. Ma läheb Koštrõgõl, or ma Koštrõgõl. Again, I am in Koštrõg, or I go to Koštrõg. These cases also occur in certain phrases and adverbials, like in loval, in bed, abel, so go for help, and seal aegal at that time. So yes, these are the examples. Also an unproductive case in Livonian is this essive that has been lexicalized in some instances. For example, expressing time. So it's in the evening, it's öden. On Friday, it's breden. For next year, tulbis aigasten. And you can see that there's it's similar to dative. So it's or n or nu. Also expressing the place. So it's guanna at home, or also the state. So opatisen as a teacher. So there are some traces of this essive. And then also instructive is part of this unproductive cases. So this means the case that denotes the way some action is carried out. So for example, on foot, I go on foot, ma läheb jalgin, but it also refers to the measures or some units that say how something is moving or something measured. So for example, here are the examples of stumarin, piece by piece, stundin, or hours.